Have you ever wondered how a simple daily message can, inspire massive action? Well, today we're going to break down a devotional that claims faith, even a tiny, tiny amount, can literally move mountains. We're going to see how it builds this powerful idea, starting from a personal belief and taking it all the way to a global mission. Let's dive right in. So, right off the bat, the text asks this question: can a tiny seed of faith really move a mountain? I mean, that's a huge claim, right? It's provocative. So how on earth does it even begin to make that case? Let's take a look.
Okay, so the entire argument, the whole thing, it all starts with one core principle. It's all anchored in a single, really powerful verse from Scripture.
And here it is, this verse from the Gospel of Matthew. It lays out three key ideas right from the jump. You've got the mustard seed, a metaphor for even the smallest amount of faith. Then there's the mountain, which stands in for any huge obstacle. And finally, this incredible promise that with that faith, nothing shall be impossible. So what is this mountain that we're supposed to be moving? Well, the text doesn't just leave it as a metaphor. Oh no, it gets very, very specific about the central problem it thinks its readers are facing. So what exactly are they talking about when they say mountains? What are these real-world obstacles that apparently require this level of faith to overcome? The text defines these mountains as very real, very everyday struggles. Things like sickness, money troubles, emotional pain, and our own doubts and fears. It argues these aren't just problems, they're mountains of unbelief that actually limit God. Now, that's a really powerful way to reframe these personal challenges, isn't it? Okay, so if those are the giant mountains, the big, scary problems, what's the solution? Well, the text offers something that, in terms of scale, is the complete opposite. And this is the heart of it right here. The text basically argues that you don't need a mountain of faith to move a mountain of problems. All you actually need is a tiny seed, just a grain of genuine belief to trigger what it calls supernatural breakthroughs. So, the devotional really frames this as a clear-cut choice. On one side, you have your doubts and fears, which it claims can literally limit a higher power. And on the other side, you have this tiny little seed of faith, which it claims can move mountains. It's a pretty stark contrast. Okay, so that's the whole theory, but the devotional doesn't just leave you there to think about it. It actually gives you a practical, step-by-step guide on what to do next. The author, David F. Nafulu, he lays out this super simple three-step process. First, you look inward. You examine your own faith. Second, you take direct action by literally speaking to your problem. And finally, you command it to be removed. The whole idea is to make it a simple, repeatable action for anyone. And to make it even more concrete, if you're not sure what to say, no problem. The text even provides a sample prayer. This thing acts like a script, right? A template for the reader to use. It's how you turn this big principle into a personal, spoken declaration. Now, this is where things get really, really interesting. The devotional makes this huge pivot. It goes from this very personal, internal act of faith and connects it to something way, way bigger. We're talking a global mission. And the scale of this mission is just massive. The text actually calls it Operation 500 Million Souls for Christ. I mean, just think about that for a second. The journey that started with one person's private struggle is now directly linked to a vision that's aiming to reach 500 million people. So how do you even get involved in something that huge? Well, the text lays out three really clear paths. You can become a prayer partner, you can serve as a volunteer missionary, or you can support the mission financially as something they call a kingdom investor. It's a very clear invitation to go from just believing to actively participating. And they make it incredibly easy to get involved by using a really modern multi-channel approach. I mean, we're talking about everything from phone and email to the whole suite of social media. WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. It just makes it super accessible for people to connect. So what we've really seen here is this incredible journey from the inside out. The devotional starts with one person's tiny mustard seed-sized faith and scales it all the way up to a global mission for 500 million people. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. How exactly do our most personal, individual beliefs become the engine for massive collective action?